have an annual Shamrock Shake run to Mickey D's to get those Shamrock Shakes.
Oh.
I love them. I don't even want to think about the amount of calories that are in them, but I love them.
It's not the point.
It's not the point.
Come here.
And my sister, I feel like she can just eat whatever she has such good portion control. Such good portion control that I do not have. And I get jealous of her enjoying this Shamrock Shake. Well, hence I'm drinking Irish coffee, which is probably equivalent to a Shamrock Shake.
Probably. We're not talking about that right now.
We're not talking about that right now. But that she can eat and drink these things and she just still looks fab.
Where I have my entire life have struggled with my weight, like keeping my weight down, my sister has always had the opposite problem of keeping her weight up. And I mean this genuinely, like she truly struggles with even maintaining like 100 pounds. It's hard for her. Just like an overweight person has health issues, underweight people have health issues.
That is a really good point.
Yeah, and so like for my entire like childhood, adolescence, I used to, I'm like, oh, it must be so nice. You can just eat whatever you want.
Yep.
Me, I look at cookies and I gained 5 pounds.
My good friend Kristy Kulangowski that brought that point up to me. She kind of corrected me for hanging out, and I would always complain about my weight, of course, because it's just an ongoing situation for me. It's always been a struggle in my life, as well as my mom's and her mom's and her mom's and her mom's. She had trouble with putting weight on, and so she brought it to my attention of like, well, I have trouble the total opposite way, and it brings on like a whole nother factor. Yeah, it's just like but it just like I couldn't wrap my head around like, so you want to gain weight? Like
right.
you like I still to this day I can't wrap my head around.
And okay, so we talk about body shaming, and it's always associated with overweight women or overweight men. But there's body shaming that happens for skinny women also. I mean, my sister gets a lot of like snide comments about her weight because she's thin. It's like over there going, you guys have no idea like how hard like I'm trying to put weight on. I guess we all just need to like stop it.
Seriously, sit in bed at night. My mom does the same thing of counting the calories or the things going over in my head at night of all the things I ate that day. So you don't do that?
I don't do that because normally by the time I get to bed, I'm like, whatever. My
friend Jen Lafreniere, former roommate, has been blowing up on social media with she came out and she said, of saying that, she's now sober. She just did her year of sobriety. Nice. She caused a lot of liver damage for herself. And then on top of that, an eating disorder. And she's really has used this past year to just get back on track. And she has just been fighting. But I bet you, Jen, chime in here. I bet you she has some things to say about the body shaming. Her appearance has changed with her having so much weight loss. I bet you she has some things to say about how people perceive her now, or maybe comments that she has gotten, and maybe a state that I don't necessarily understand. I strive to just be thin, and that doesn't mean I'm healthy, and that doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Yeah, and we talked about that before.
I don't know about you, but I'm to a point now, like I don't really care about like being sexy or like hot body. Like, feeling good is higher on the list than looking good.
You never know what people are going through.
You really do.
You really
not.
don't.
You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. My mom and I were having this conversation. She said she had gone to this conference long time ago, and there was this woman on stage, and she was a heavy woman, but she just looked so happy, and she was confident, and she just, said everything well, right, and beautiful, but she was heavy. And so my mom was just like, how is it that she can be that confident being that size? And it just made my mom just like she put so much pressure, and still does put so much pressure on her to be thin and to be the weight that maybe she's not naturally, that she couldn't fathom how this woman could be so joyful and have so much confidence in herself, but yet she admired her and she wanted to be her. She wanted what this heavier set woman had. And so it doesn't always have to do with what that scale says. Like you work it in your own skin, and health is just so important. You know how I feel about that.
If we can get to a point where we're just genuinely comfortable
with where we are.
I mean, talk about freedom, just absolute
freedom,
unadulterated freedom, and just feeling good just for who you are. And that's just it.
Yes.
And not having anything to prove. Oh man, wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? But I always said that heaven is eating whatever I want to eat and not have any guilt about it.
That's right.
I don't eat all the Doritos. I don't eat all the chips and queso. I don't eat all the pizza. I want the pizza. That being said, Cheers to the Irish.
Cheers. Happy Irish Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
For me, it means drinking.